their final regular season home game this Saturday at 2:30 against Troy. The game will be on ESPN3, and we'll kick at 2:30, and we'll also be honoring its Senior Day. So the Blue Raiders will be honoring in pregame ceremony the 16 seniors who will be playing their final game. So get things started, I'd like to bring up head coach Rick Stockstill.
All right, appreciate everybody being here. Just real quick, real proud of our team and how we played in the game last week against South Alabama. So I thought we played well, and just proud of how we went down there and competed and beat a good South Alabama team. You know, a little bit, I thought about, you know, Mark saying this is Senior Day, so I thought about doing a Les Miles deal for Senior Day, and we don't have many of them, but the ones that we do have, you know, they mean a tremendous amount to me in this program, and just the guys that have sacrificed the 4 years that they've been here, and everything that they've meant to me personally and to this university and this football program. I'm extremely proud of them, and you know, for them to be able to go out now and say that they went to 3 bowls in 4 years, in their 4 years here, is a tremendous accomplishment for them. So I'm extremely proud of them. And, you know, we don't make a big deal out of Senior Day, and there's not going to be a bunch of farewell speeches and all that kind of stuff, because it's not their last game. You know, they still got a few more games left to play. So, but I'm extremely proud of them, and, you know, we'll honor them, and then at our banquet at the end of the year, they'll get the real send-off that they deserve in everything that they do. But I'm really proud of our seniors. This is a big game for us. You know, I've said it, you know, just about every week here, especially here in November. We've put ourselves in position with, you know, whatever it is, 12 days to go. We're still in the hunt for the conference championship, and that's our main goal. And Troy is an excellent football team, as you guys well know. You know, they're playing, you know, they've got to get this game to get bowl eligible. So they've got a lot to play for, but we've got a lot to play for also in our quest to win this championship. They're very explosive on offense. You guys probably watched the Tennessee game a few weeks ago when it was on TV, and they've got, you know, a seasoned quarterback. They've got good skill players. So they're very explosive on offense. We've got to do a good job of eliminating the big play, and we've got to get some pressure on the quarterback. Our guys up front have got to create some pressure there. Defensively, they look about the same as they've always been over the years. You know, they've got a lot of junior college guys up front in the secondary. They're very athletic. You know, so they're playing good on defense, and it'll be a heck of a football game. I think they're sound in the kicking game as well. So we're looking forward to it. Really excited about it. We had a good practice Sunday. We were off yesterday, and look forward to getting out there today and getting ready for this game.
I count about maybe 3 walk-ons that will be in your rotation there in the secondary. There's not much you can do about that, I guess, now. Can you, I hate to say hide some of those guys, but is there anything you can do to combat what may be the best passing offense in the conference?
Yeah, you know, it's, you know, there's nothing we can do about it. You know, losing Jared Singletary a few weeks ago and now losing Kenneth Gilstrap in the South Alabama game is, you know, depleted us a little bit, you know, taking away some guys in the secondary. But, you know, it's the next guy. You know, we just have to some of those guys will play more Saturday than they've been playing this year. So it's an opportunity for them. Other guys, and I said this, other guys around them are going to have to raise their level of play. We're going to have to get more pressure on the quarterback to try to combat some of that back there on the back end. But, you know, our guys, Dave, Coach Bybee and Coach Ellis, they'll have them ready to play. And the people that we put back there, you know, it's a great opportunity. And I've said this before, people are probably going to doubt what we can do on the back end. They probably don't think we can do this or we can do that, but let's take that as a challenge and prove people wrong that we may be a walk-on. We may have not played much this year, but here's my chance. I'm going to go out and prove to you that I can play.
Is any chance Jared could play this week? None at all?
No, sir. He's definitely out this week, and realistically, he's probably out for the year, depending on, how late, where you go as a bowl game, because it's they said, and we just found this out the other day, that he has to be out completely for 8 weeks with no contact. So that 8th week won't be probably till the middle of December.
The seniors, the ones that have been here the whole run through, they came in on a high and that huge year, and then another year, and then another bowl, and then it dipped, and then a bowl again. Is the legacy of getting the program back this year, is that the legacy of this team of maintaining? It went down and they got it right back to where it was?
I was looking at it. I think there's only Omar and Benny, that have been here, that came in as freshmen in 2009 that are graduating. Everybody else was redshirted. And I hope I'm not leaving anybody out on that. Micah James has been a junior college. Anthony Amos is a junior college. So we've had some junior college guys in there that are graduating or seniors this year. So, to me, what Omar and Benny in that 2009 class, I just look at the foundation that they laid. I hope they don't look back and they just say, yeah, in 2012, we did this. I hope they're proud of everything they accomplished, because they accomplished a lot. Omar and Benny played as true freshmen. Tavares played as a true freshman. Then, he got hurt this year and redshirted. We've had other guys in similar situations. Sammy played. Gilstrap played, as freshmen, and then got injured and ended up redshirting. But, those guys mean so much to me from a personal standpoint that I hope they'll look back and just be extremely proud. That's what I said, at the beginning of this. For those guys to say they went to 3 bowls in 4 years is something that they ought to be extremely proud of, that they can show their kids, their family, 3 bowl rings is pretty impressive. There's, not everybody in the country can say that. And to me, it's a testament of how hard they've worked and everything that they've sacrificed, not only, as a football player, but personally in helping develop this program, because this program is still developing. We'll say this next year when those guys leave, and you continue to build and lay a foundation, and I'm just really proud of Omar and, Benny and all those other guys, the seniors, that have what they've done.
I know this goes in cycles, but why is this class so small?
Well, 13 of them or 14 of them were redshirted, so next year's class will be really big. There's a couple, that I dismissed for whatever reasons. There's a couple that I think transferred because they weren't getting enough playing time. So you got 13, 14, I think it is, that redshirted. You got Benny and Omar at 16. You dismissed 2 that are 18, 2 transferred, I think it was. So it's about what it is. The big reason is we were able to redshirt so many in Omar's class.
This week's game, Troy is playing to extend their season. You guys are playing to help your chances in the championship hunt. Who's got more to play for in this game?
I know what we're playing for. I know what they're playing for, and they can spin it any way they want. To me, we're playing for the championship, and we're playing to win this game. And, you can look at Troy saying, man, we got to win this game to go to a bowl game. That's probably, to them, that probably means as much to them as us winning this game to stay in the championship hunt. So I know how important it is to us. And, you'd have to ask Coach Blakeney and them, and it's a big game for both of us. And I know they've got a lot playing for, and we've got a lot playing for. So I don't think you can say one or the other's got more to play for than the other.
There's a losing streak there to Troy. I looked down the depth chart and I came up with maybe one or two guys that have played more than one game against Troy, significant time. So does the losing streak to Troy, should this team take ownership of that? Or
ownership's on me. I mean, like I told the team Sunday, I said the media will ask you, they'll say you've never beat Troy and all that stuff. And I told them, I said, this team has never lost to Troy. I've lost to Troy. So I don't look at anything. I don't look at last year or the year before. We beat them last year. Well, that's okay. We're doing good. Last week, South Alabama, I'll never think about South Alabama again until we play them next year. And to me, you just, yeah, they've beat us, but it has nothing to do with this game. And I told them that just because I knew they'd get that question asked. And, there's nothing we can do about the game last year. There's nothing we can do about the year before and all that kind of stuff. And it's not hey, we got to win this game for this, whatever. We want to win this game because it keeps us in the championship hunt.
That's something they don't have to worry about, and you take ownership of that. Is that something that you have to check yourself this week, of that you don't approach it any different than you did any other game?
I'm not going to approach it any differently because I think as a head coach, I think your players, they look at you and they see your demeanor, and they see how you, hey, he's acting different this week, or, he's acting, they tend to, to maybe act different. And yeah, I want to win the game. I want to win this game for these players. I don't care, about any personal, hey, we finally beat Troy. That doesn't mean anything to me. I want to beat Troy for these players and this university and this football team. That's all I care about. So I want to do whatever I can to give our players the best opportunity to win.
You had some games there where the FIU game, you had to get the guys had to be really up. That was a huge game and trying to get into a bowl. North Texas had the same feel. Western Kentucky had the rivalry. South Alabama, you're in the championship hunt. How do you keep the guys up every week and stay at that level for that long?
That's a good question, Adam. It's hard, but, and I say this all the time, that, this point in the season, your body gets tired, your mind gets tired. It's a long year. But the one thing that should never get tired is your heart. And that's what you got to play with, and the passion and the effort that you play with. Your heart never gets tired. And, so that's just what we've got to do. They know what's out there. They know that, they've got to prepare themselves mentally and physically to play their best game this week. And, that's how we'll approach it. But it's hard. And I thought, and you go back to South Alabama, and I told our team this. I said, I thought they did a great job at South Alabama. They were off 16 days. And then you're going down there, there wasn't a whole lot of atmosphere going on. And, I thought it took us a little bit of, that first quarter to get acclimated to the speed of the game again a little bit. But their focus, their enthusiasm, their energy, everything was good, leading up to that game and throughout the game, their toughness. And that's why I was so proud of them and how they played that game, because being off for 16 days is tough. And coming off an emotional game at Western Kentucky, and then 2.5 weeks off before you play, going on the road playing an away game is a tremendous testament to that football team. Good. I appreciate it, and I hope all of you have a great Thanksgiving, and just appreciate everything you guys do.
Thanks, Coach. Our student athletes here this week, quarterback Logan Kilgore and defensive end Omar McClendon. We'll begin with Logan.
Logan, when you see all the points and all the yards that Troy's piled up, Is there any sense in this game that you guys as an offense are going to have to do the same, that you're going to have to prepare for a shootout?
Yeah, I mean, every week we know we got to score one more point than whoever we're playing, and I think that this week we've got faith in our defense. We know that obviously some injuries and stuff like that, but at the end of the day, offensively we're just looking to execute our game plan and continue to get better on our side of the ball, and we know that our defense is working hard to do the same.
Last year we asked you about this Troy, this losing streak to Troy, and you kind of acted like, I don't know anything about that sort of thing. And then you go in there and you throw 5 touchdowns, I think it was, so you had one of your best games. Is that relevant at all to the players this week of the 6th straight?
No, I think that if that's how I was acting last year, it was probably just because I had never played them, and so I probably was saying that every team's differently, and I'll say that again this year because they haven't played this 11 guys on offense. They played some another team, and I think that every year it's different. Obviously they've done a good job. They've won. There've been some close games there, and I think that last year, we hurt ourselves. That was an interesting game down there, and missing some field goals. I remember not being able to convert on 4th and short in the red zone. Just some other things. I just think that we've had close games with a lot of different teams, and this game right here is huge. It's it's bigger than South Alabama just because it's the next game, and we have to win this game to give ourselves a chance to achieve our first goal, and that's conference championship.
Troy kind of says they're playing for their lives, so to speak, for this season. They want to be playing for another month. Mm-hmm. You guys will be playing no matter what. Do they have more to play for, or does that matter in this game?
Well, I think that we've been there. 2 years ago in 2010, we went down to FIU, and we had to play on, so to speak. But once again, I think that them winning this game, would give them a chance. Obviously, if they don't win, they have no chance. But I still think that they're going to come out and give great effort, and I would say that whether or not they were going to be bowl eligible. I think that just the way they're coached and those guys, they always come to play, and we got great respect for them. But I think that for us, we're not looking at it like, oh, we're already bowl eligible, so let's just coast on. No, our first goal is to win the conference championship, and whatever comes after that will take care of itself.
Do you guys look at this as a play into the championship? I mean, if you win, there's no doubt you're playing for the title the next week because Arkansas State's off. Is that how you guys look at it? This is the way to get into the championship game?
Yeah, that's how I look at it. I mean, that's how I looked at South Alabama. I said, if we don't beat South Alabama, we're not going to win the conference championship. If we don't beat Troy, we're not going to win the conference championship. I think, it's a huge game. It's a Sun Belt game late in the year. We've got 2 left. And, I think all the external stuff, 6 years, all that stuff has a lot less impact than the fact that if we do win this game, obviously it puts us in a position to achieve our goal, which is playing for the conference championship. And, that's pretty much what we're focused on. I think that, all the bowl stuff and everything else, like I said, that'll take care of itself. We want to win this game to give ourselves a chance.
Last year when you were told about all that, about all the streak and all that, and I'm sure you wanted to end the streak, everybody does,
yeah.
And then you have that huge game individually. Mm-hmm. Was there some frustration even now of, man, how could I have played that great of a game? We still didn't pull it out.
I mean, quarterback, you kind of take responsibility for whatever happens, good or bad. And I think that obviously, yeah, it looks great in the stat sheet, but I remember some plays. I know particularly we got a turnover deep into their territory, and I know on 3rd and 1, it was a quarterback run, and 4th and 1 it was a quarterback run, and I wasn't able to get that 1 yard. And I think that you can't sit back and say, hey, I threw for whatever yards and touchdowns. At the end of the day, I didn't get the win, and that's my responsibility. So I'm just going to go out there this week, I think just like any other game, and hopefully do what it takes to get that win, however that needs to be done.
Coach had obviously said he takes responsibility for the 6-game losing streak. And from a mental standpoint, going into this one, that seems like the right way to approach it. But I wonder, because I'm sure that the team that had lost 2 in a row or 3 in a row or 4 in a row or 5 in a row all took the same approach.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm wondering if it's just that simple to just say, hey, throw it out. This team's never lost a Detroit.
Yeah, I mean, I think that, you know, coach would take that responsibility, whether, you know, whether it was a loss here or a loss there. That's the job of a head coach, and I think that, you know, nobody does it better than Coach Stock. He obviously, he's going to take, you know, all the blame, and that's kind of his job. But us as players, we know that, you know, no matter how much, you know, what he says, at the end of the day, he's not going to run for a 4th down conversion. He's not going to throw for, you know, he's not going to make a tackle. It's on us, and whether or not, you know, somebody says something, at the end of the day, these last 6 games have still been played by the players, and we haven't gotten the job done. And I think that, you know, this team, obviously it's different, and it is easy to say that because I think that, you know, this is a different team. They haven't played our scheme with our coaches and these players yet, and I think that, you know, Saturday will take care of itself. Appreciate it, guys.
Omar, you played that 09 season, correct?
Yes, sir.
Tell me, when you got in here, you play immediately as a true freshman. What's kind of one of your bigger memories of that year? Because obviously that was a huge year.
Just really the senior leadership. Brandon Perry, you know, Chris McCoy, Patrick Honeycutt. Those guys were like true leaders on the team, and I think that's what helped us be so successful. Because how could I forget Danny Carmichael? I mean, those guys, they didn't just play, but they were, you know, leaders off and on the field. So I believe that senior leadership helped us stay focused throughout the season, because it was a rough season still, even though we did win those 10 games. But, you know, there's a lot of adversity, and we were able to overcome that because of the senior leadership.
When you come in like that, that was the biggest season this program has had in the 1A era. And then you go to another bowl, and then it dips, and now your senior year, you guys have got it back to a championship level. Is there a pride in that, of kind of leaving it where you found it?
I mean, you always want to, you know, end on a great note. So, I mean, for me, being a senior, I want these young guys that just came in to be able to experience what I experienced my freshman year, because, I mean, just the confidence level that I, you know, gained from that freshman year was amazing, because I knew that how successful we were, we could continue to be that successful, and our program was growing just off of that season. So I'm looking more as the young guys, and then, you know, as the seniors, you know, to end on a good note, and the freshmen to start on a great note.
This week, do you guys up front have to do more, because you know how beat up the secondary is injury-wise behind you?
I wouldn't say do more. I say that, you know, guys are going to step up. I mean, like Coach was just saying last week, you never know when your chances. You have to play every practice as if you're a starter and be ready and be prepared. So I believe, like, the defensive line will step up just like the secondary would step up as we had injuries on the front line. And as much as Troy throws the ball, we're going to have to step up front anyway, and, you know, get pressure on the quarterback, so the DBs can, you know, have opportunities to get picks.
You've been here for more of the Troy games than I guess most everybody else on the team has. You and Benny and maybe a couple others. Does it make any sense to you? You guys seem like very even teams. That you guys have owned a lot of other teams, beaten them 3 out of 4, 2 out of 3, whatever. It doesn't make sense that you haven't beaten Troy. Any sense that you can make of that matchup?
Honestly, I can't. I mean, I just believe it's the mentality that you have going to a game, and not looking at it as going to play Troy. We're playing another team. You know, they're not. I mean, they're Troy. They're like I said, they're another team. They bleed just like we bleed. They breathe the same air that we breathe. So I just feel like the confidence level we have going into this game, you know, we're a new team. They're a new team. And I feel like that confidence level that we have will help us, you know, be successful in this game. And also the leadership on our team will help us be successful.
You know, Coach just said he takes ownership of those losses to Troy. Is there, on his kind of resume, he's got all these bowls and bowl wins and 10-win season and all these things. Really the only mark there is not beating Troy. As a senior, is there any sense to you of boy, we sure would like to win this one for Coach before we get out of here? Is that even in your mind, or does it need to be this week?
That's with any game. I mean, we want to win just as bad as, he wants to win. And Coach Stock truly cares about, us as players, as his sons. We're a family on this team, so we all want to be successful for him just as much as he wants us to be, successful. So I believe it's a mutual feeling. So we want to go out and get this next win so we can continue on, this path of success.
Omar, you were kind of talking about this as being a senior and playing Troy so many times. Knowing it'll be your last time and knowing everything that's kind of come before with being here, is it possible, I guess, personally for you, do you build up, I guess, a healthy dislike for a team like Troy that's walked off the field and won the game in the 3 previous years that you've been here?
I actually, coming out of high school, I took a visit to Troy, so there's a little bit, I wouldn't want to say hate, just because you're not supposed to hate anybody, but there's a little bit of a grudge there just because they recruited me, and I decided to come here over them, and I always talk to their coaches after the game, so, and then I have some guys I know over there at Troy, so it's just like playing back in the backyard against some of your friends, so we're going to be competitive, they're going to be competitive, so we just want to get this next win. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone. As I always like to remind you, we'll be back here again next week ahead of the Arkansas State game. That'll be our final press conference of the season. So look forward to seeing you then. Thanks.